There's something about fighting games for me. I don't know if it's reminiscing about punching pound coins into the Street Fighter 2 machine at my local arcade as a child, or if it's the thrill of getting to beat up my mates, digitally at least. But I've always been strangely drawn to fighters. Once upon a time, I was even fairly competent at a couple of them and managed to scrape some near wins at a few tournaments. Those days may be behind me now, and the closest I get to competitions these days is watching Evo, but that doesn't stop me from still enjoying the genre and picking up new titles from time to time. Ahoy! CaptainBenzie here, coming at you with a Land Ho, the series that follows a musty map to buried gaming treasure. Today, the voyage is stopping to look at Shadow Fight 3, available for Android and iOS. Now, whilst most fighting games feature a cast of vibrant and unique fighters for you to choose from, that's not quite the case here in Shadow Fight 3, where you create your own fighter as you first load up the game, and then you personalise them as you progress through the extensive story mode. A large arsenal of weapons, from spears and longswords to nunchaku and katanas, gives a wide diversity of fighting styles that you can further personalise with different movesets and abilities that can be equipped to your weapons and to your armour. Now, whether you want to play a defensive spear wielder who heals damage that they block, or a whirling saber-wielding dervish that swiftly obliterates your opponent's health bar, Shadow Fight 3 has a playstyle for you. It's also delivered with an absolutely gorgeous looking game engine with fluid animations and an epic soundtrack. Now, beyond the story mode, there are quick side quests that will award you with gold and upgrade cards if you're getting stuck on a particular mission, and in true fighting game style, the missions can be excruciatingly difficult at times. In addition to tough AI fighters that seem to deal out significantly more damage than they take, Shadow Fight 3 likes to mix things up a little with different variations to your match rules. Now, some of these demand that you shift your playstyle completely, such as competition rules, which don't count the damage you do, but rather the number of hits you land, making those fast-moving weapons all the better. Other rules may have your opponent healing damage constantly, or you gradually losing health to an open wound. Most of these are fairly interesting. Some of them are mildly annoying, like Eclipse, which is like someone playing with your brightness slider mid-match. But Invisible Enemy? Oh, I have no idea who thought that this was a good, clever, or even remotely fun idea. These matches pitch you against a literally invisible opponent. You can't see if they're ducking, blocking, attacking, or even what weapon they have. Now, fighting games are about reading your opponent and anticipating their moves. This is physically impossible during Invisible Enemy fights, and I found these utterly infuriating, and their inclusion in the game is baffling at best and utterly soured the experience for me at times. I was running an event mode that requires rare tickets to enter and doing pretty well until the game pitched me into one of these fights and broke my streak, ruined my score, and kicked me out of the event until I could earn or buy more tickets. Now, on the subject of events though, the game has a plethora of these. As I write this, there's an ongoing Dragon School event happening. You use the aforementioned tickets to enter matches, and depending on how you do, you earn various rewards, from the in-game currencies to special event coins, event card packs, and of course, unique event gear. This gear comes in the form of a complete set of helmet, armour, weapon and ranged weapon, and a bit of research into past events shows that these are frequent, exciting, and they continually award stunning looking gear. Of course, what would a fighting game be without multiplayer? Shadow Fight 3 includes a duel mode where you queue to be matched against other players, and you earn duel chests that contain more upgrades for doing so. There are also usually daily missions as well that reward you for jumping into duels. However, curiously, I haven't yet been able to find a friends list or a way to challenge players directly, so if I wanted to fight against a friend, I've no idea if this can be done. I've looked through the game's menus and checked online, but not been able to find anything. If it's in there, it's well hidden, and if it's not, that's a very sad exclusion. Of course, as a mobile game, Shadow Fight 3 is free to play, but with in-app purchases in the form of gems and special promotional offers. Now, these gems are used to buy gear from the shop or can be converted into gold. They can be used to speed up the refreshing of a jewel chest or to skip the last few keys needed for the award chests. I'm glad to see that you can earn these throughout gameplay in the various chests you open and as rewards for events and side quests. Whilst I did dip in and purchase a promotional offer that included some gems along with some gear and gold early on, I've not felt pressured into doing so since, other than looking at a couple of bits of gear in the shop that would finish off a set. I can still play fine without a complete set, just the completionist in me yearns for it. Now, all in all, Shadow Fight 3 is without a doubt the most involved and traditional fighting game I found on mobile that wasn't a direct port. Whereas alternatives like Skullgirls and Tekken stripped away many of the more traditional fighting game mechanics of button combos and directional sticks, opting for card systems instead, Shadow Fight 3 sticks to a more traditional gameplay style, but with an emphasis on customization of your character. I am saddened at the baffling exclusion of a way to challenge friends, but have otherwise thoroughly enjoyed the combat, the story, and the progression of building my fighter up. Now, if you're a fan of fighting games, and if you've stuck with me this far into the video, I have to assume that you at least have a passing interest, I would strongly recommend downloading Shadow Fight 3 and giving it a go. Now, if you do, or if you're already playing, let me know your thoughts in the comments section below or on the Gaming Galleon Discord. I'd love to hear how you're getting on. If you enjoyed this video, punch that like button to let me know, and subscribe for more content if you haven't already. Of course, if you want to support the channel, you can do so via my Patreon. Happy sailing, and see you aboard the Galleon!